Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. What we're going to talk about today, the benefits of living in Cyprus and why so many people come to Cyprus. Not only is it a great place to live, the weather is fantastic, and obviously there are many benefits, and some of those benefits are tax benefits. It's quite reasonable to live in Cyprus, shall we say, especially if your income comes from outside and transfers in. If you go and check the tax rates, obviously they change constantly, but approximate figures, you're allowed to have 20-ish thousand, I mean these fluctuate obviously, in Cyprus without paying tax at all. Yeah, so that's not too bad if you are a retiree. And I think I've mentioned in a video previously that gentleman that I know transfers in just over the magic 20,000, so he's just under the tax threshold, and then once a year goes off on holiday, pops somewhere and comes back with a bag with another 10,000, because of course that's the figure that you're allowed to carry through an airport, as long as you've got a letter from the establishment where you brought that money from, like a bank obviously. So that's how he does it, and I know that's how many people do it without paying much tax. But even if you are in the higher echelons of earners, you will find that the tax benefits of living in Cyprus are, shall we say, very beneficial. Yeah, so that is one of the main benefits of living in Cyprus, on top of all the others. Cost of living is lower. The sun is always shining. All right, we get a little bit of rain now and again, but we get excited about it because it's so unusual, and the systems can't cope when it rains for 20 minutes non-stop. I think you get the idea. It's a country that's set up for sunshine, relaxation, and just having a good time. Yeah, sitting around, smoking cigars, slurping on hot latte coffees, making YouTube videos, and enticing people to come to Cyprus. And I say that, and I'm conscious of what I say, because I'm not trying to entice you to come to Cyprus, not trying to trick you to come to Cyprus. Many people know that if they come to Cyprus, they're going to have a fantastic time. That's whether you're coming for a holiday or whether you're coming to live here for a year or two, or perhaps even the rest of your life. You're going to get a great experience when you live in Cyprus. And there are many other reasons. Crime rates. Now, crime everywhere in the world is rising. This is something that happens throughout time. So we can't change that, even though the governments and the police forces and the Secret Service do their very best to try and control us, shall we say. But crime will always go up. But crime in Cyprus is pretty low. And that's the wrong word actually. When I say pretty low, it is low. Simple as that. You can manipulate the figures however you wish. The crime in Cyprus is very low. Now and again, we do have a little bit of crime, obviously. But what do we term as crime? You know, statistics will say that speeding and these kind of things are crime. Okay, they are crime. But we're talking about, and we know what we're talking about, don't we? We're talking about bank robberies. We're talking about armed robberies. We're talking about, yeah, we know what we're talking about, don't we? That is very low in Cyprus. Armed robberies, yeah, well, they don't happen very often, shall we say. Bank robberies, yeah, they don't happen very often. Burglaries, unfortunately, yes, there are many more burglaries that are not reported. Most people don't report them. And why don't they report them? Because yes, they have been broken into. But I always say, it's the way I express it, the burglars in Cyprus are amateur burglars, so they don't even ransack your house. They actually come into your house, mainly because perhaps you've left a window open, by the way, or they use a screwdriver and in they come. And they normally wander around your house for 15-20 minutes. I'm not saying this is good. That's not what I'm saying. But they wander around your house 15, 20 minutes, opening the odd drawer or two, and they're looking for your passport. They're looking for cash, watches, laptops, mobile phones, those kind of things. And normally, when your pussycat walks in, they get scared and they do a runner. So that's burglaries in Cyprus. The thought of someone knocking on your front door, and when you open it, they barge their way in and then tie you up and beat you up and torture you, hasn't happened yet in Cyprus. I'm not saying it's not going to, but it hasn't happened yet. So these are some of the things that we have either experienced in our lives or someone we know has. And I'm talking now about the UK, obviously in America and these kind of places. That kind of crime is not in Cyprus. Rest assured, it's not here. And the other kind of crime that we were talking about that no one likes to talk about is not in Cyprus. Certainly not yet. And I think if that kind of crime comes, the authorities in Cyprus, and when I say the authorities, I don't mean the powers that be, I mean the boys and the girls in blue, and one or two who are not in blue, will sort it out, shall we say, in their way, perhaps without the courts, those kind of things. So that's not going to happen in Cyprus, certainly in my lifetime, so we shouldn't worry about it too much. So, crime, cost of living, and tax. Those are probably three of the biggest advantages of living in Cyprus, on top of the weather, on top of the relaxed lifestyle, on top of it being absolutely amazing. And you can get probably one of the best coffees in the world. There you go. In my opinion. But the cost of living, like I say, is very affordable. Wherever you live, people will complain. Immaterial of wealth, whether you haven't got much money or whether you have got lots and lots of money. And these are the two extremes, aren't we? And we always find that these two parties always complain the most. And I'm not saying that this one shouldn't, but this one shouldn't. The ones in the middle will laugh and joke about it and say this has gone up, and then go out and have dinner 5 nights a week. So yeah, cost of living in Cyprus is low. And the benefits of living in Cyprus are huge. Tax, very low. Crime, very low. And the standard of living is very high. There was a statistic in the Cypriot press the other day that announced that in excess of 75% of Cypriot nationals own their own property. That is very high. There was another statistic not that long ago to say that somewhere around about 10% of Cypriots consider themselves to live in poverty. Now, I'm not saying that's good. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that is very low. If you conduct that survey in other European countries, you find that 25 to 30% of people say that they live in poverty. So Cyprus has got something special, something unique, something to do with its location, something to do with its size, obviously, so it doesn't have the problems that much bigger countries have. Not saying those problems are not going to come, but hopefully not in your and my lifetime, shall we say. Anyway, I've talked enough. I'm going to say a big thank you for watching. If you like what you see, hit that little like. It doesn't cost you a single penny. Push that little subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a single penny. It just tells YouTube that you like what you've seen, and perhaps YouTube should recommend it to more like-minded people like yourselves. And of course, if you'd like to keep the channel afloat, why not go and hunt us down on the Buy Me a Coffee platform, because that's how you could gift us a virtual coffee or two. And I'd like to say a massive thank you to Paul and Kenny. Yeah, don't forget to chat to Kenny and tell him that one of these days he's coming to Cyprus. Thank you very much, Paul. This coffee is delicious. And it is indeed. So, Buy Me a Coffee platform, that's how you can virtually gift us a coffee or two. You can also join us as a Superstar member, by the way, and make sure that we are lubricated. Make sure we're motivated to make these videos just for you. Big shout out to one or two of the guys who are superstars. Lady Kirstine, Sir Scott, thank you very much indeed. Baroness Lillian the Crackpot, And of course, her Baron Frank. Thank you very, very much indeed. Who else can we mention? I know, we'll talk about a little Viscount in downtown Mansfield and his mum and his dad. Big shout out to Lady Bex, of course, Sir of the Carl, and that little naughty boy who likes an ice cream or two, Viscount James. Thank you very, very much indeed. I'm going to leave you with the view, and then we're going to go and drive somewhere. So don't forget to come back for that little video. We're up in Tala. This is the view. It is a fabulous, fabulous day. It's the 3rd of January. What more can anyone want than to live on the island of love in paradise? Although, yes, Lady Ali, we would like that bus to move because it is obscuring our view. Thanks for watching. I look forward to your company again very, very soon indeed.